Oh, I hate water. Right guys, I'm back on this job. This is the one where I did the boiler and the kitchen first fix. I haven't been here for months. So that was the boiler we put in a Worcester 1000. I've got all the rads and that dropped on. What I've come to do today is the kitchen sink. Obviously when I was here last, there was no worktops in. So we've got a bit of jiggery pokery to do under here. We've got a water meter and stuff to refit back under here. I've actually got to turn the water off to the whole like street to do this, and the stop tap doesn't shut off properly, so I might just have to snatch that across. That might be a little bit fun. I've not been looking forward to that bit, but yeah, we'll get it sorted anyway. So I'm going to start with the kitchen sink, get all that piped back in, and then there's a little bit to look at in the bathroom as well. They've put the floor down and stuff, so we just work our way through the list of jobs and see how well we get on. So what we've got here is we've got cold main coming in, which needs our water meter fitting on it. We've got hot, which obviously needs to go to the tap, which I haven't put in yet, but the tap hole is on this side here. And then we've got cold back out. Obviously we need to leave a couple of tees off for a dishwasher and washing machine, and obviously a tee off for the kitchen sink. So it should be fairly straightforward. What I'm going to do is put a lever valve either side of our water meter, so if it ever went wrong, obviously the water board that belongs to the water authority, not the customer, they can obviously maintain that. Lever valves are completely fine to use on water mains. Some people say you've got to use stop taps. These are completely RAS approved, everything. So yeah, fine to use them. That's what I'm going to do. It just makes life easier. So what I'll probably have to do is use a compression at the back of this cupboard, because the water main don't turn off properly. Come straight in with my lever valve, through my meter, another lever valve underneath with the drain off, and then I can sort everything out. So I just need to get control of the system, because as I say, the water doesn't turn off properly. These water meters got an arrow on, so we need that with the direction of the flow. And then I'll have to try and get these tails off here. I'll have to unsweat that, and then we can just put our lever valve straight onto there. My lever valve will probably go straight on there. Not going to be able to get that nut off very easily, but I think it should be okay anyway. Just paste it back up and pop out. Pop out the lever on. That will do us for one. I just need to get back on that tail for the other. So I've made up a lever valve, which I'm literally going to cut that pipe off in a minute when I get the water turned off, and slam that on there. I know that stop tap in the road doesn't turn off fully, and it feeds other properties. Obviously I've got this on here, which I'm going to put in my bucket in a minute, just to get rid of the pressure, and then we're just going to have to do that a bit quick. Obviously I don't want to leave the water off for ages, and then I know I'm not going to be able to solder that, because when I joined it at the other end I couldn't solder it either. So that's all I'm going to be able to do with that, but we'll get that bit done then, and it gives us full control in this unit then. It's this one here, but it passes a bit. Obviously I don't want to force it too much, but we'll go and see what we can do. I'll have that in the bucket. So it's constantly going to keep running though. I'm going to get my tray. Put my tray in there. Let's see if we can operate on this. So it's not a lot of water, but it's enough. And my bucket's got an hole in it. These now. Literally everything's pasted up, ready to go. Oh, I hate water. It's not too bad. It just gives me full control then. Oops. Get that nice and tight. Oops, didn't mean to do that. Right. Get dried up in this cupboard and we'll have the water back on. Right, that water's all back on, no damage done. That one's already got a washer in. So we want our water meter going down. Obviously these are only plastic, so you've got to be careful not to cross thread these. Well, it looks like it's already been crossed before at some point. So we start then by hand and then just give them a nipple. So I've had to spin that lever around like that, otherwise it'll hit the meter. It's just so they've got a point of isolation either side. That way I've done all I can to make it as easy for the next person. Yep, that'll be alright. Right, I'm just getting marked out some clips. What I'm going to do is swing it along the bottom, up the side. We'll have a couple of brass clips there to feed up a pair of ISOs for the tap. We'll come along, pick the cold up on this one, and then we'll come along and have some washing machine valves and some stuff there. So that's the cold all done with, and then the hot will just swing along the top, across an ISO valve there somewhere, and then ready to pick up on the tap tails when we get that in. So if you put all your clips on first, it just makes everything nice and neat then, I find. And try and keep everything lined up through. I know it's only behind the kitchen sink and everything like that, but it just looks better. I always think brass clips just look a little bit better under kitchen sinks. It spaces your pipe work off a little bit as well, which makes it easier. That's why I use them. They're about 60p each, aren't they? They're not going to break the bank. So just put all my clips on. All I'm going to do is have a drain off tap down there. We're going to bend that up, the T there, up and pick the cold up, another square bend, and then just washing machine valves, and that's all the coals pipework in. What I'll do is get everything made up out of position. I can solder all my T's and stuff while it's not under the sink. It just makes life a little bit easier. The other thing, if you can bend a lot of stuff, it speeds you up as well. I've got this little lightweight Fillmore blender. It's obviously it's really old, but it still does the job. It saves me carrying my slightly heavier one in. I think the old ones are the best. It's just a 2-piece thingy, my bobby. That'll be about right for us. Spot on, that'll be alright. Beautiful, we'll get that in, and that's the majority of the work done on that. Always remember to put your drain off tap back in, otherwise you get wet. Little nip up. So that's got the majority of the pipework in now. As I say, I'll put a service valve on there in a second from a tap. I'll get the tap in, and then just a pair of literally washing machine valves, I think, on there, because we've got a dishwasher and washing machine next to the sink on that side. So yeah, hot will just swing across, and we just got the waste. So waste coming through. Picked up a double spigot trap thing. We've got a basket strainer, so it shouldn't be too bad. So I'm just making the tap up. These are your standard tap tails. You only do these hand tight only, and they just literally screw straight in. You don't need to put grips or anything like that on them or spanners, just literally hand tight, and that will suffice. Base plate goes on there, and then we just drop that through. To go like that, I think. Have it like that, would you? You'd have it on the angle, I think. I can always spin it round anyway. Obviously, it's a bit of personal choice. I haven't got any isolation valves in the van, so I've got to come back anyway to do the bathroom. So what I'll do is pop some on. When I come back, it's not the end of the world, but at least that gives us full control. So that is hot into the sink, cold into the sink, cold into the unit through the water meter, cold that feeds the rest of the house, and then just some washing machine valves. I've still got to drag my hoses in. So we should be good. Well, we can certainly turn that one on. That's a good start. And then turn that bottom one on. Well, hopefully we've got no leaks. Well, that's always a good sign. Yeah, fairly happy with that. Obviously we've just got the waste kit to do now. Yeah, I haven't actually ran the waste in the outside, but I drilled my hole through. My advice for these is to silicone on there, This one hasn't actually come with a washer. Sometimes you get them real thin washers. Silicone them in, because if you don't, it will leak. I'll drop that straight in there. We can wipe the excess off in a second if we've got any excess. And then Is the overflow going to be too long? We've got to have to short the overflow down, haven't we? I'll sort that bit in a minute. My silicone on top of there as well. Silicone on top of there. That's how I do them. You probably don't need to. And then hand through the sink. I just every time. Too long on the vertical as well. God, I hate these overflow kits. How can it be too long? How can it be too high on the vertical? It is a little bit in it. I don't think you can shorten them down though. It's not like a ball bearing thing. Unless you can shorten it. I'll have to shorten that bit down as well. That's a bit better. I think that'll be alright. Right, I picked up a double spigot P-trap. The good thing is with these ones, these are the polypipe ones. They send that out, which is an adapter for the non-standard threads. Obviously this one was standard, but sometimes you get the flat ones on the kitchen sinks, like the IKEA ones and stuff like that. They're worth keeping, just just as a spare in the van. But you do get them with that way. So obviously we've got a double, so one for the dishwasher, one for the washing machine. Obviously they just unscrew and the nuts go on, and then all I need to do is a couple of 45s, or I don't know, get that away so we can see what we're doing. Just a 90 and 45 or something. I don't know. Anyway, that's the easy bit. So yeah, that's pretty much all plumbed in, as neat as and tidy as I can. What I'll have to do is try and get the shelf back in there as well. Do something with it, but at least you've got full access to the meter. I say I know I need to get some service valves on there, but other than that, that's all done. In fact, with this waste, I can just extend it down, and then it will go straight through, so I don't have to use any other fittings. That's just like to send to your waste. You don't have to use them. I don't always bother, to be fair. It's supposed to make it go in square, but they don't normally leak anyway. We'll give it a whirl. Probably be another air in this. Fill it completely up to overflow in a second. We'll just get all the air out. So if the customer wants the tap spinning, I can spin it round however they want. It's easy enough to get to. So hot. That's all cold. Beautiful. I say always fill them up to overflow, just to check all your waste and all your overflow and stuff, but yeah, that'll be fine. Okay, so that's up to overflow. Yep, that's where you check the overflow. Look, where's that coming from? It's coming out the back of the overflow somewhere. Let's get a bucket under there. Pouring out. Oh, it's pouring out from the overflow at the top. That's where you check everything. It might just be a case of tightening that screw. that's probably all it's going to be. We'll give that another go. Right, I'm pretty sure that's got it. It maybe just come loose as I, was messing about with that waste, but yeah, that's why you check everything. We just have a dry up in here now. Obviously that could have been completely destroyed, the cupboard, if that had been leaking over a period of time. So yeah, happy with that. Happy with that, and yeah, get the shelf in. Just give everything a real good wipe out. I fitted all the shelf and everything, so all that's removable, so water's all nice and easy to get to. Right, this is the bathroom that I came and first fixed literally ages ago now. I'm assuming we've got a hardybacker going on this floor, because I'm assuming it's been tiled, so I guess they've left that down, because I set my tray on some plywood and then on top of the joists, well, the impy floor, and then obviously it gets tiled all the way through. I believe there's underfloor heating going in here as well. Obviously I still need to do all the waterproof membrane and stuff, so I might have a look at that. I think that plaster is a little bit, well yeah, it's drying, probably dry enough. But I want to get the toilet in, well, just to see if that soil pipe's far enough back. I couldn't get it any further back at the time. I think there's obviously tiles or mermaid board going on the walls. I'm not exactly sure what's going on. So I don't know much about this job really. Obviously I first fixed for a towel rail, I'll have to have a look if that's there. Then pipe look a little bit tight to the wall now. And obviously we've got a pedestal basin going in there, but as I say, I first fixed this that long ago, you sort of forget, don't you? And obviously customers obviously doing the majority of it themselves. But yeah, I'm going to get the toilet just set up, because I'm worried about that soil pipe obviously. Yeah, I suppose it'll be out another 20 mil, I guess, but it is a long way forward. And then we'll have a look at the MP. But I need to find out what they're doing with this floor. I've still got one rad to go on here as well, because last time I was here this wasn't plastered. Obviously it's having a new skirting board. I've done all the rest of the rads. I have actually had the heating running as well, so they're all done. And I say I did put the boiler on the plug top, just to get it struck up. So the boiler's all done as well. But yeah, I'll get that toilet in and see what it's going to be like. Right, so I just unboxed the pan. It's one of the, I think it's one of these that go right back to the wall. So I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing for us yet. We'll have to have a look. Obviously we've got, that'll be the cistern, that'll be the basin, and that'll be the pedestal. Obviously it's a Marbix shower. As long as I've got my pipes in 150, that'll be fine. And that's all the impy water guard. But I think that hardybacker needs to go down first, then the water guard, then the electric underfloor heating. Obviously they're just for your corners around your tray. And then that piece is there for your tiles, so it lifts it up. Depending on the thickness of your tiles, again I don't know what they are. I might just have to have a word with her. There's bits I can crack on with today anyway, and I might leave that water guard just to know what's going on the floor. Pull this thing out. Oops, yeah, that's what we wanted. So I brought it up with an M&F 90. This was guesswork at the time. I mean, still got tiles going on the wall. We might just get there. See if I've got a bent pan connector in the van. Feed I tucked well in. I think it'll be hidden. I don't think I could have done much more. I'll check. Obviously that, it probably is going to be out a little bit more into it at the top. But yeah, I think we'll probably just about get away with it. I'll see if I've got a bent pan connector and just see if I can set that up. I was working in the dark. Not too bothered about the rubber even on it yet. Just want to see. Just roll that down a bit, I think. bits off centre as well. Because that will drop. That'll be perfect for us actually. If anything, that couldn't have been any more perfect. Just push the pan connector on, drop that in. I know I ain't got the rubber, but I'm not leaving it in anyway. But even if they're not tiling that wall, that's going to be perfect, and we can gain a little bit. We can gain a touch on the pan connector if we wanted to. So yeah, I think the toilet's going to be fine. I'll check the other things. Obviously, we'll put this back in its box out of the way, but I just like to check everything. Because you don't want to get to the end and then have a mess. And literally all you're going to see down the side of that, well, you're not going to see much anyway as you come in. Obviously I'll shorten that saw pipe back, you'll literally just see, well, nothing really, but that'll be fine. Likewise with the pedestal, I think we're going to be okay. I'll double check their 150 centres and they haven't moved. They don't normally when I do them because I pin everything in. But yeah, I don't think it's going to be too bad. Does anybody remember me doing this bit where I upset the neighbour as I drilled them through? I'm not going to hang this radiator yet, but I'm going to get the brackets on the wall because it all needs decorating and obviously skirting goes on. I couldn't get them pipes any other way because it was just the angle of the dangle, so we just have to come up and into the rad. Hopefully I've got them in the right place. There were all sleeves and everything, but as I drilled them through, the neighbours upstairs started kicking off. That was like, when was that? That was like last September, I think. Don't know, this job's gone on a while, but it is what it is. We'll get this bit done, and that's pretty much all we can do today. As I say, I'll have to have a word with the customer about that. I was actually worried about this job a little bit because obviously I didn't feel like I was in control of it. I've not been here for so long. You're just worried that other people have done stuff. I was worried that my pipes weren't going to be in the kitchen sink. Just all things that go through your head as you drive into the job. But I think we're okay. I think we're back on track with it now. I'm a lot happier than I was this morning. Not that I wasn't happy, but you guys know what it's like. It's just nice to be able to, yeah, it's nice to know that you're going to be okay, because I do worry about stuff. I do want to get the job right. But yeah, I think we're okay. Right, that's got that rad set up. As I say, I'm not going to bring the pipes up and into it, just because obviously the joining needs to get skirting on, and obviously the decorating needs to get miscoated. The reason the rad looks high is because they're like 8-inch skirtings or 10-inch, so the actual skirting board comes to about there. And I said I'll just have to swing up and in. But yeah, as I say, much happier now with this job. I'll be back obviously at some point. I don't know if I'm doing that waterproof membrane or the tiler or whatever, but anyway, it'll be sorted for the customer. So yeah, at least we're all right.